how are you feeling about this Zuckerberg Musk cage fight? What's the play here? What's the hack they're doing that we don't get? What's the 3D chess they're doing that we don't get?
I mean, I guess with Musk, the thing with him, he's very he tries to pretend that he's a big dog, but he's just a bit of a wet fish, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
And
do you know what it feels like to me? It feels like, they say that thing about back in the day, if the king ever had to utter the words "I am the king," he was fucked.
Yeah.
Elon Musk seems to do that all the time.
Yeah. I would say that. So with this Zuckerberg fight, Zuckerberg has hilariously, massively called him on his bluff, and
because Zuckerberg's been quietly going about doing jiu-jitsu a lot.
Yeah, and he seems to be quite good at it. And so I would say that Musk is just not in any way athletic. He looks like a little slugworm boy, and I just think he's absolutely outmaneuvered him. And Musk has been forced to sort of say that he's got bad neck. Or
Best
something.
PR to ever happen to Zuckerberg.
Yeah, I mean, and
basically tie yourself to someone who's even worse than you, and then you look great.
Well, it came out of nowhere, didn't it? Sort of giving it the big licks, giving it the I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't know where this came from. I don't know why Zuckerberg offered it up, but I just do think that Zuckerberg feels like he's kind of like in the pantheon of quite underwhelming new money. He's old money. Do you know what I mean? Like he made his
he's been around for
name.
longer,
They probably made the money around about the same time, but he's been a public
no one knew
figure.
who Musk was then,
no,
did they?
And he only kind of became famous because of the space stuff, I suppose, and the car stuff. I don't really know.
Why is it? Here's a question for you. Elon Musk is obviously a complete fucking knob, right? No question about that. Take a cursory glance at his personal life. Look at how he conducts himself. You don't need to be convinced of that unless you're one of his kind of weird fanboys, and really, I'm not really talking to them. Why has he been able to be so successful?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we spoke about this before, but it's.
I still don't feel like I know. I don't know how he's been able to do it.
He did the old PayPal thing, didn't he? That was his.
Have you ever listened to that podcast series by the guy with the amazing voice? Is it called Twitter versus Elon Musk?
Right, okay.
It's a really interesting... It's called Flipping the Bird. It's a Wondery series. Flipping the Bird, Elon versus Twitter. And it's presented by the guy who does, I think, Business Wars for Wondery. He's fucking great. He's really good. He's an amazing voice, amazing presenter. And I listened to that series. It's about fucking, I don't know, 8 or 10 episodes long. And it's got amazing access to the people at Twitter of quite senior positions and their experiences of Elon's work at Twitter, to the point where they've got audio of like meetings and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And he is just unbelievably incompetent, like unbelievably unprofessional. Like he would do an all hands at Twitter, which is like thousands of people all around the world, and not have any answers to any questions. And all I'm saying is clearly he can't have applied that kind of attitude to the stuff he's done before. So he's either capable of doing it and he just doesn't want to do it with Twitter because he's lost his mind, or he's just the luckiest man in the world.
But I mean, I guess he kind of he's clearly a talented developer, and he was around about the right time to do it. But I would say he kind of prospered in spite of his own input, but rather than because of it. He's very much he clearly had other people in the company, because we've seen from his behaviour afterwards. There was a bit where there was a guy interviewing him in front of one of his big rockets, and they sort of like they
get me in front of
the big rocket, and they sort of went, why don't you do it this way? And it seemed like they were using language that I kind of understood, so it made me sort of think that it possibly wasn't the most advanced chat in the world. And Musk couldn't help but sort of go, no, because, yeah, maybe we'll try that. Which, in any other sphere, would be like, oh, good, that's really great that he can listen to someone who presumably isn't part of his orbit, and the best people have the best people around them. But he did sort of seem like he didn't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
I was going to say the rocket. I mean, I guess that's very much how rockets get launched. But, yeah, weird.
It's all bluster. It feels like it's all bluster.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what we're talking about. That I'd love to see him fight. I'd love to see him have a fucking fight because why not?
Well, because his whole brand is about snowflakery and being the big dog in the yard and shit like that and memery and just seeing him get his neck broken by a little skinny man would be really funny.
Zuckerberg's already kicked him to the curb, hasn't he? So he's not serious. Forget it.
Exactly. Yeah. Can't be arsed. Stop being stupid.
Which is kind of interesting. And Musk is clearly just so toxic.
He'll just be thinking about it. But the best thing is, that's all he'll be thinking about. There won't have been any all hands to the pump meetings in the last couple of weeks because it's all he would have been thinking about. And his public perception. It's like, mate, no one likes you. And this isn't going to make it any better.
That's the thing. These people just want to be liked, don't they? Like I think that about Piers Morgan. Like Piers Morgan, he just wants to be accepted as a football fan, and that's why we must never accept him because he's got everything else he wants.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. You build your empire doing terrible things. I'm not necessarily talking about Morgan here, but obviously you build your empire doing terrible things. And then you sort of go, the one thing I can't buy is love, and then they just sort of spend their time trying to roll back all of the terrible things they've done.